As Jung Ho-seok hid in the female dormitory crying, the sound of his mobile phone suddenly rang. The screen showed his aunt's name calling. Jung Ho-seok quickly wiped away his tears and tried to calm down before answering, "Aunt, what's wrong?" "Ho-seok, your mother is sick. Quickly come to the hospital. Hurry up." Upon hearing the bad news, Jung Ho-seok collapsed. Then she quickly ran out of the bedroom straight to school, waved a taxi, and went straight to Jeonbokgung Hospital. Upon arrival, Jung Ho-seok ran straight to the emergency room, ran in front of her aunt, anxiously asked, "Aunt, how is my mother?" Jung Ho-seok's aunt hurriedly explained, "Ho-seok, don't worry. The doctor is examining your mother. Luckily, I came to visit her today. If not, I wouldn't have known she fainted. I called an ambulance for her. The situation is still unclear." Upon hearing this, Jung Ho-seok's heart was burning with restlessness, thinking, "My mother has always been healthy. Why did she suddenly faint?" While Jung Ho-seok was eagerly waiting, a doctor in a blue coat wearing a mask stepped out. Jung Ho-seok quickly asked the doctor, "How is my mother?" Looking at Jung Ho-seok, the doctor asked, "Are you a family member of patient Hwang Soo-hwan?" Jung Ho-seok nodded quickly, yes. After confirming, the doctor looked at Jung Ho-seok with a serious expression and explained the patient's condition is quite complex. Based on the blood test, we suspect that she is in the acute phase of leukemia. This disease requires timely treatment, otherwise it can progress to a critical stage. Jung Ho-seok felt like lightning had struck him, almost causing him to collapse to the ground. Leukemia? It can't be. My mother has leukemia. Beside him, her face also turned pale, her eyes wide with horror. The doctor continued to explain with a regretful expression, "This disease was previously considered incurable, but it's not hopeless. However, the treatment costs are extremely high, requiring bone marrow transplant combined with chemotherapy and supportive therapy. Within a month, you need to prepare at least $500,000 for the surgery cost, otherwise the patient's life will be in danger." After listening, Jung Ho-seok grabbed the doctor's hand desperately. $500,000 could save my mother. Please, doctor." The doctor shook his head sadly. "It's not certain, but there's still about a 50% chance, but if she can undergo a better treatment, with more suitable bone marrow from a donor and invite leading experts to treat her, the success rate will be higher. But it also means she will need to pay more money. With Mrs. Hwang Soo-hwan's current condition, the total cost to fully recover could be over $1 million. After hearing these words, Jung Ho-seok was completely shocked, staggering back 2 steps, her face pale. $1 million? Where do I get $1 million right now? Then Jung Ho-seok collapsed to the hospital floor, crying and in extreme pain. Hoo. Slowly, darkness enveloped her fragile hope. After that, Jung Ho-seok involuntarily remembered the bitter past. "My family only rented a house to live in Jeonbokgung. My father was a notorious gambling addict. The house had been lost in gambling by him and was seized to pay off debts. He even borrowed money everywhere to cover his losses, sinking deeper and deeper into debt. Eventually, he fled, leaving his wife and children to face the mountain of debts alone. Jung Ho-seok had endured enough. He swore never to live in misery like that again. He would never follow in his mother's footsteps, so when he went to college, he no longer asked his family for money. With just a snap of his fingers, he could make many boys willing to spend money on him as long as he didn't define a relationship with anyone. He could enjoy the good things in life from all the men who pursued him. But it was this lifestyle that caused Jung Ho-seok to lose himself and fall into the whirlpool of greed. Thinking about curing her mother, Jung Ho-seok stumbled out to call her mining friends to borrow money. She even thought about being willing to do anything, no matter how much sacrifice. But after making over 80 phone calls, Jung Ho-seok was completely discouraged and disappointed. These damn men who used to promise to support her had now gone silent. The third mining friend was even worse, calling me a scammer. Men are truly unreliable, always sweet-talking and making promises. But no one helps when money is needed. Damn it, everything is just a mess. Half an hour later, Jung Ho-seok was plunged into a despair she had never felt before. Why was everyone like this? Aren't there any trustworthy men in the world anymore? After all, they were all just awful people. At this moment, a flicker of hope emerged in Jung Ho-seok's mind as she opened Chen Yuan's contact information. But when she saw his phone number, she became nervous. Chen Yuan could definitely help me. 1 or 2 million to him is nothing. No, he won't help me. I heard him before, and he might not forgive me. Besides, how can I face him to ask for help? I can't let him see my current pathetic state. That's my last bit of dignity. In this way, Jung Ho-seok stared at Chen Yuan's phone number for a long time, hesitating but unable to call him. 2 hours later, on a luxurious private jet, Chen Yuan was being taken care of by 8 beautiful, white-skinned, long-legged flight attendants as the plane landed at the bustling Tianhe airport. Over time, the number of fans gathering at the airport has increased. The waiting area has now become crowded with people. In the distance, only a sea of people crowded together like sardines can be seen, estimated to be more than 1,000 people. Even many schoolgirls are jostling here, holding up signs as if welcoming a famous figure, and each person stepping out of the waiting room immediately flashes of lights continuously. This scene truly makes people overwhelmed. A woman weighing over 400 pounds looks around and asks curiously, "What's going on? Why is Tianhe Airport so crowded today, and why are there so many luxury cars parked outside, at least a few hundreds? Is there a big star wanting to visit Gyeongbokgung?" The young man replied excitedly, "No big star could make more than half of the wealthy young masters in Gyeongbokgung gather here. It is rumored that the famous wealthy magnate Lim Yong-won will return to Gyeongbokgung from Madu today. The aristocrats of Gyeongbokgung knowing this news, almost everyone has come to welcome and admire the style of this #1 tycoon. His reputation and influence are truly formidable." Hearing that, the lady also had a look of anticipation and excitement, asking, "Is Lim Yong-won the handsome and famous musician? Oh my, I really like him a lot." Immediately, this over 400-pound lady also eagerly joined the crowd, asking, "Has Lim Yum-won come out yet? Let me have a look." However, this chunk of meat immediately scared everyone around, with cheers erupting everywhere from the airport waiting area. Chen Yuan quietly slipped away without anyone noticing, walking towards Yang Webai, who was waiting for him. Chen Yuan shook his head in disgust. "Holy shit, this scene is too horrific. I have so many fans coming. There are people welcoming from all sides. I didn't expect to use the disguise technique so well that I would be recognized." Unexpectedly, Kim Jisoo drove up in front of Chen Yuan, cheering joyfully. "Chen Yuan, you're back. A remarkable man like you can't hide, shining like a firefly in the night. Hurry and get in the car." Chen Yuan looked extremely awkward at Kim Jisoo. Just a moment ago, he'd agreed to ride in Yang Weibai's car. In just a few seconds, Kim Jisoo drove up to pick him up. Not getting in the car was really impolite. Not knowing how to handle this situation perfectly, a fan saw Chen Yuan on the side of the road. He immediately shouted loudly, "Oh my god, Lim Yong-won is here! Lim Yong-won is here! Everyone, Lim Yong-won is over here! Come quickly!" The shout immediately caught the attention of countless fans nearby. Then all rushed towards Chen Yuan like bees to a hive, especially a woman weighing over 400 pounds. But the speed at which they ran towards Chen Yuan was astonishing. Moreover, that woman looked at Chen Yuan with a lustful gaze as if drooling. Fearing this scene, Chen Yuan sweated profusely, quickly got into Kim Jisoo's car and slammed the door shut, urging Kim Jisoo, "Go. Go fast, or we will be surrounded by the crowd." Along with the powerful engine roaring, the Bugatti raced away at a terrifying speed, reaching 0 to 100 kilometers/a in just 2.7 seconds. It disappeared from the airport road like an arrow leaving the bow, leaving behind eager hearts hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary super-rich man. On the way back, Kim Jisoo looked at Chen Yuan with concern and asked, "Honey, what are you coming back for this time?" Chen Yuan took off his baseball cap and sighed before replying, "I have some business at the school. The school is organizing a lecture for me and the students of the next class. This collaboration will benefit both sides. The school will have a chance to introduce the best students to our company, while also enhancing the school's reputation." However, after a few seconds, Chen Yuan realized something was not right. He looked at Kim Jisoo awkwardly and asked, "Wait, what did you just call me?" Kim Jisoo calmly replied, "Honey, what are you coming back for this time? Is there something wrong with me calling you husband?" Upon hearing this, Chen Yuan suddenly exclaimed in shock, his eyes wide open, "Honey, when did I become your husband?" Seeing Chen Yuan's reaction, Kim Jisoo lowered her head and said sadly, "Chen Yuan, I'm sorry. Perhaps I shouldn't have called you husband. I was eager to progress our relationship to become your girlfriend, but I can consider your feelings. Maybe you don't like me at all. I need to be more aware I'm not worthy of you." While waiting for the red light, silence enveloped the space. Chaos filled Kim Jisoo's heart. "I still want to find an opportunity to define the relationship with Chen Yuan, and he seems colder in expressing emotions. But it has been over 2 months. I am really worried. I'm no longer patient. Why doesn't he say he loves me? Why does he make me wait? Does he really not like me? Yes, I'm just a normal girl in Gyeongbokgung. How can I compare to him? A successful man renowned everywhere. No, he has spent so much money on me, he would buy me anything I want. Would a boy who doesn't like a girl be so generous? Does he really love me?" The more Kim Jisoo thought, the more she loved Chen Yuan crazy. Unable to control herself, the more she thought, the more she felt her mind was about to explode. completely not understanding what Shen Yuan was thinking, but thinking of calling Shen Yuan her husband without objection. Kim Jisoo felt extremely happy in her heart. As the university beauty queen, of course Chen Yuan must like me. Asking like that is no different than demeaning myself. I know that he loves me. Hi, hey. Chen Yuan seemed to have caught Kim Jisoo's emotional thread. He raised his hand to her cheek, looked straight into her eyes, and said softly, "Hey, what did you mean by that? If I don't like you, why would I get in your car?" Realizing that Shen Yuan was getting closer with his affectionate and gentle gaze, the sudden intimacy made Kim Jisoo extremely nervous, her cheeks blushing, her heart beating fast as if it wanted to jump out of her chest. Too close, does he intend to kiss me? Then Kim Jisoo closed her eyes, her heart beating eagerly, waiting, the atmosphere slightly shy, but just as their lips were about to touch, the phone rang, breaking the romantic mood. The timing was just perfect, ruined, and Kim Jisoo's cheeks turned red with embarrassment as she quickly turned away. Chen Yuan also hurriedly took out his phone. Seeing the caller ID as Jung Hoseok, he muttered, "Dan, why is it her? Why call now of all times?" Returning to Jeonbokgung Hospital, Jung Hoseok looked at Lin's mother's scene in despair. She felt both helpless and desperate. She had borrowed from those who could, but no one was willing to lend her. 1 million was too large a sum for them. Finally, Jung Hoseok took out his phone and called Shen Yuan. Here, the screen displayed Jung Hoseok's name, which made Shen Yuan frown in disdain. Shen Yuan decisively rejected the call. Within 10 seconds of rejection, Jung Hoseok called again. He was so patient and persistent. Once again, Shen Yuan turned off the call. Kim Jisoo curiously asked, "Honey, who is calling and why are you answering?" Shen Yuan pursed his lips in disgust. Jung Hoseok called. "I guess he just wants to borrow money, so I didn't answer." Seeing Shen Yuan keep turning off the phone without answering, Kim Jisoo suspiciously asked, "How do you know she wants to borrow money? Maybe she just wants to mend the past relationship." Chen Yuan sighed heavily when he heard that. "Hangano, it's impossible. The past is faded like smoke. Let everything fly away with the wind. I am no longer the Chen Yuan of the past, and Jung Hoseok is no longer the Jung Hoseok of the past. She has once again become the worst person I've ever known." Upon Shen Yuan's exclamation, Kim Jisoo wanted to say something, to share her thoughts, but didn't know where to start. Here, unable to reach Shen Yuan, Jung Hoseok sent him a series of urgent messages. "Shen Yuan, can you help me? I really need money urgently. Can you lend me 1 million? I promise to pay you back in full, definitely." Seeing Jung Hoseok's WeChat messages, Shen Yuan couldn't help but furrow his brows. 1 million? That's not a small amount. Seeing Kim Jisoo beside him helping Jung Hoseok, Shen Yuan immediately showed her the phone. "See, I told you, it's indeed about borrowing money. Last time, she used this excuse to scam me out of 50,000. I considered myself lucky then. Now, she's using the same trick again. Why doesn't she come up with something new?" Kim Jisoo still hesitantly spoke up. What if this time she's in real trouble? Shen Yuan was in a turmoil of emotions. He threw his phone to the back seat, ignoring Jung Hoseok's plea, and patiently replied, "No way, what does her business have to do with me? I don't owe her anything. Why would she come to me when she's sure on money? Does she think I'm an ATM? Fine, the light is green, hurry up." Upon hearing this, Kim Jisoo stepped on the gas of her Bugatti and drove into the city center. Just 2 hours later, news of Lim Yong-won's public speech spread like wildfire, exciting all students of Huda University, regardless of being freshmen or seniors. They all erupted in extreme excitement. They heard today Lim Yong-won is coming back to the school to give his speech. It is said that Lim Yong-won is the sole heir of a super talented and wealthy person. Due to his busy study and training schedule, he doesn't have much time for romantic affairs. So Jung Hoseok had a chance to touch the lonely heart of Lim Yong-won. Unfortunately, she didn't appreciate this opportunity, causing herself to miss the chance to soar up like a phoenix tree. Just a moment from a rumor of 10, 10 spread to 100, 100 spread to 1,000, and finally the whole city was buzzing. He and reporters rushed to cover this lecture. The auditorium could only accommodate up to 1,000 people. Unable to hold the amount of audience coming to Huda University for news and ticket prices were pushed sky high. In the crowd, 2 female students who couldn't get tickets were extremely worried. "It's outrageous. Only Huda University student ID can get in. Now, the cheapest student ID is selling for $500. Damn speculators, now I can't even see Lim Yong-won up close. Whatever, seeing him from afar is also good." Just then, Chen Yuan's 3 roommates heard it, and old Zhu took the initiative to approach and flirt. "Can we help you 2 beautiful ladies?" One of the girls turned back and asked the 3, "Who are you guys?" Hearing that, the 3 roommates showed off a photo taken with Chen Yuan. "We are roommates with Lim Yong-won in the dorm. We can also bring you two inside to attend Lim Young Wong's lecture. After the introduction, old Ju took out his WeChat QR code and 3 VIP tickets, his intentions clear on his face. Lim Young Wong left these VIP tickets for us. You can bring someone in. So let's get acquainted. Hearing that, the two girls immediately smiled brightly. Oh my god, really? Let me scan your QR code. Let's go. Just like that, the 3 guys followed Chen Yuan's scent and led the 2 beautiful girls into the auditorium. Old Ju looked at the girls who kept glancing and flirting with him, then thought of Chen Yuan and tears of joy fell. Chen Yuan, you truly are a living bodhisattva. Without you, how can my friends and I meet such cute girls like these? Soon the lecture began, the auditorium now packed with people. Not even a single empty seat left. The principal stood up to host. Hello, distinguished guests. Hello, students. Today, we are honored to welcome our special guest, Lim Young Wong, who is here for today's lecture. And now I am pleased to introduce our speaker, the successful businessman, a representative of the top 10 outstanding youths in the country, and the talented former student president of Huda University, Mr. Chen Yuan. Please welcome Mr. Chen Yuan to the stage to share inspirational stories with us. After the introduction, the whole auditorium erupted in applause. Chen Yuan stepped up to the lectern. Just then, a loud voice cut through Chen Yuan's speech. Lim Young Wong, your money is not clean. Do you dare to publicly disclose the source of that huge wealth? The entire room fell silent. Everyone looked towards the angry young man and then back at Chen Yuan on the stage.